All right, so for problem A, we have a mixed number, and we are going to multiply it. Anytime you're going to add, subtract, multiply, or divide a mixed number, the first move you should always do is turn it into an improper fraction. And if you remember how to change this into an improper fraction, you take the denominator and multiply it by the whole number. Okay, and then you add the numerator. Order of operations says multiply first, then add. 2 times 3 is 6, plus 1 is 7. So that's my numerator now, and then my denominator stays the same, it's a 2. So 3 1/2 becomes 7 halves. Again, I did denominator times the whole number, added the numerator, and now I can times it by 1/4. And you remember that Miss Wesley loves to multiply fractions because you don't have to get common denominators, you just multiply straight across. So those numerators, 7 times 1 is 7, 2 times 4 is 8. The correct answer is 7/8. Okay, it's a proper fraction, so we don't have to simplify it. 3 2/10 times 3/10. Okay, when you multiply decimals, you don't have to do any lining up, although today it just happens to line up, but you just line up the digits. So 3 times 2 is 6, 3 times 3 is 9. You notice those are the same numbers from yesterday, but now I have to count the number of digits after the decimal. 1, 2, so I've got to move 1, 2. That's where your decimal is going to go. But we need to put a placeholder there for the ones place. So you need to write your decimals 0 and 96 hundredths, okay? If on your paper today you just put decimal 96, it's not wrong, but the best way to write it is with a placeholder 0. So from now on, I'm going to start telling you to always put that placeholder 0 if you have no holes, okay? So 0 and 96 hundredths. Letter C, 8/3 minus 5/6. So we know that this improper fraction could have been a mixed number, but it's already an improper fraction, but we do have to get a common denominator. Our best common denominator is going to be 6. So we don't have to do anything with this one, but we do have to change this one. 3 times 2 gives me 6, so I have to do 8 times 2. 8 times 2 is 16, so that gives me 16/6 minus 5/6. 16, so the denominators, you never, ever, 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 never, ever, ever add or subtract denominators, so we leave that the same. 16 minus 5 is 11. Now, if you saw this on your paper, Miss Wesley would give you a check, which you know usually means the correct answer, but a check S. I would give you a check S. And what that means is that this information is correct, but you must simplify it, so you only got half a point instead of a full point. How do we change an improper fraction back into a mixed number? Well, how many 6s can I take out of the 11? 1. And what do I have left over? 5, because if I take 6 out of 11, I have 5 left over, and you keep your denominator. So it's 1 and 5/6 is the correct answer. What we just said was long division. So again, 6 on the outside, 11 on the inside. 6 can come out of 11 one time. Subtract that. You have 5 left over, 1 and 5/6. If you need help with that, see me privately. So our last problem today is order of operations. And again, we have something to do inside the parentheses today, so we do that first. 10 take away 2 is 8. Okay, so then I have 2/3 or 2 cubed plus 4 times 8. Because remember, that number next to a parenthesis means to multiply. So now I need to do exponents. 2 cubed, remember, it means 2 times 2 times 2. Okay, so 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8. 8 plus 4 times 8. Got to do a multiplication first. 8 times 4, 32, plus 8. 32 plus 8 is 40. All right, questions? Please raise your hand.